Well, we are in Masterclass mode. This is the conclusion. All things come to an end. And of course, every ending is a new beginning. And so we are going to go through the conclusion of the text and offer some thoughts and some next steps. We're also going to celebrate. Thank you to those of you who shared and submitted your stories. Of course, shout out to the Prosperity Circle, who has been sharing prosperity reports all throughout this process since June. And it's really been wonderful. The Prosperity Circle, there's so many wonderful things. As I was reading back through so many of the shares, there have definitely been money prosperity reports. Money has been coming in and flowing in so many powerful ways. There has been healing. Again, I mentioned surgeries have happened, other healing in mind, peace of mind, mental clarity has come forth, prosperity in all of the ways that it can come. It's not always about money and things, right? But peace of mind and mental clarity definitely is prosperity. We've seen and heard prosperity reports around career and around new businesses. Free stuff, yes, has come through in the process of you all applying these teachings. Discounts, unexpected money has shown up. There was a share today about a new home, which was powerful. Travel, healed relationships. And this one really excites me. I was trying to think of a way to really encapsulate it. Blessed to be a blessing. There were so many shares throughout this summer in the Prosperity Circle of those that, because you now recognize that you are prosperous, you are able to gift others. Because you recognize that you are prosperous and operating in as I give, I receive, you are able to treat others to dinner and treat others to certain experiences. And if this is definitely an outpicturing of a prosperous mind and a prosperous life, you are blessed to be a blessing. And of course, again, it is a boomerang effect. As you give, you receive. As you bless, you are blessed. Not just in the act of the blessing, but literally it comes back to you. All the money that I circulate, all the good things that I circulate come to me multiplied. And so it has been wonderful to hear and see this. We're going to share some more of the specific shares that we received over the past couple weeks via the form. But again, I wanted to encapsulate some of that goodness that we've seen and experienced with the Prosperity Circle, because so much has been shared and so many good things have been shared. So let's get into this conclusion. And as we read through the conclusion, which is not very long, we're going to talk a bit about next steps and highlight some things for you that are very necessary to highlight, because it's interesting, as we've talked about since we announced this class, that this book, Open Your Mind to Prosperity, is part of a trilogy. So Catherine Ponder first, and she's talked about this in the book as we read through it. The dynamic laws of prosperity. First, we have to understand that we're working with universal laws, and there are some names to these laws and how they work, right? And so that's what the dynamic laws of prosperity is really about. Now we need to open our mind to prosperity. Like, just because we know that the laws are, now there are specific things that we need to do to make ourselves available to this thing that is real and that exists. And then the third book is Open Your Mind to Receive. So she's really teasing that book here in the conclusion. And it can be deceptive, because you may think that you've opened your mind to receive because you opened your mind to prosperity.
Yeah. And that's an important distinction, because what she really is guiding you through with this trilogy is how the process works. That first you got to know that there are laws, that things are not happening to you that are against you having prosperity. And then you got to take that idea and then add it to your consciousness. Okay, now let me open my mind to the laws that exist. And how do I do that? That's a step. And then the third piece, open your mind to receive. We think that because my mind is open, I'm really open to receiving, and that's not always the case. You know, we've seen that in so many ways, prosperity, where people block it because they're not open to receiving it yet. They know it exists. They might even know about how to get it, but they don't know how to receive it. And so it's important to realize, oh yeah, there is more to understanding prosperity than just money in the bank, knowing a law, or any of these things.
Or doing some of the tools from a place of manipulation, or from a place of trying to rush and catch God so soon, as Yogananda's teacher said to him, right? And this process, y'all heard me talk. I share that story a lot and did a sermon on it, right? Don't try to catch God so soon. Right, and that's what we've seen a lot of you do throughout this summer, right? Through this process, right? There was a understandable excitement, but there was a rush to try to catch God so soon, rather than to really internalize what was being taught and what you were being invited to do, step by step, week by week, so that ultimately you've created a way of being, and now you can open your mind to receive.
Absolutely. And this idea, the chapter 10 in the book puts it beautifully. Nothing's ever lost in spirit. So that unconscious rush is what we need to release. Yeah. Everything is meant for you to receive. And so now you just got to open up to it. Yeah. So let's tap into the reading. In conclusion, open your mind to receive. Your deliberate words of receiving will open the way for the other prosperity techniques described in this book to culminate as prosperous results in your life. You hear that? Your deliberate words of receiving open the way for the prosperity technique, all the stuff that we've talked about, all these chapters, all of these weeks in this book to culminate as prosperous results in your life. Why should we deliberately open our mind to receive? Because most of us have endured a pinched, narrow existence for no good reason, and we have blocked our supply in the process. There is nothing divine about a pinched existence. There is nothing spiritual about a narrow way of life. Anyone who leads a pinched, narrow existence is not expressing their divine nature. And you can feel it. It's that tension within you or within your mind when you think about prosperity. That is cultivated. It's not the natural state of things, right? And so when you notice it, you don't judge it. You don't judge that, oh, I'm thinking that's not possible. You just relax and use some of your tools so that you can relax and realize, oh, let me let go of this narrow way of thinking how it has to come, when it has to come, what it looks like when it comes. That's all that pinched, controlling, manipulative way of thinking about prosperity.
And then for many of us, what is creating the narrowness, right, and what is pinching are the things that we have not addressed in our lives, right? So I've shared this story in many different classes. Some of you are probably hearing this for the very first time, and so I think it's important to share. I remember in 2009, I walked in this sacred center and heard about this class called the 4T Prosperity Course. Well, yeah, I want prosperity. I jumped into the class because I already knew what I wanted, right? I knew at the time I wanted to leave my job so that I could work full time as a musician. I wanted to release the music that I had been recording and put an album out. I was coming in with a lot of disappointment because I had recorded an entire album and lost it all through a hard drive debacle. What else did I want? Oh, I was looking for just support with my music career. You know, I wanted money. I had this whole list of things that I wanted. So I'm like, oh, this is dope. Like a prosperity course. Boom. Yeah, let me jump in. And so I was excited about it. We had to create a prayer. We used the 3-column prayer process. And the day that we were supposed to share the prayer and use it with our group, I really wasn't sure what my prayer was because I was thinking and overthinking and like, how do I take this narrow, see, this is why I understand y'all in the mastermind now, prayer mastermind. How do I take this narrow 3-column prayer situation and how is that going to give me all this stuff that I want related to my career and related to my health and related to money? You know, just 3 columns, I am prosperous, so God within me heals me now. Like what? And so I really didn't know what to pray. And I'm thinking about it all day. Just before I leave work, I get into an argument with my ex-wife. And now I got to rush and go to class. So I'm upset. I'm pissed off. And I'm like thinking about that conversation. I'm thinking about the email that she sent. I think I replied, I don't remember. And in that class, people were starting to share. This was only like the third week. People were sharing like their prayer had already been answered. There was a mother and daughter that had healed their relationship. They had been kind of ostracized. There was somebody else that stood up that said she healed her relationship with her sister. They had spent a wonderful weekend together after not talking for years. A third person stood up and talked about how he had healed his relationship with his ex-wife, and they were having a better co-parenting relationship. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And as I was sitting there, what I heard in my mind very clearly, Greg, you can have everything that you want on your list, but you got to heal this thing. The thing with my ex-wife that had me pissed off and distracted. And in that moment, I realized that, but I still didn't know what to pray. And so I stood up and asked a question and asked for support. And Reverend August supported me. My classmates supported me, and I got to the right prayer. But that's what was creating the pinched, narrow existence. Right? It had nothing to do with whether these laws work. It had nothing to do with whether I was worthy of prosperity, whether I was worthy of any of the things that I want. And so my prayer was about forgiveness. Right? God within teaches me to love Erica as I love our daughter, Malcolm, right? To heal that. And it absolutely did, and moved us into a space of forgiveness. And everything I wanted on my list and more, I received. Okay? So it's really important. A lot of times we feel like, oh, well, I don't need to deal with, that's that over there, or I got this over here because I'm in the right and they're in the wrong. So this has nothing to do with my prosperity. But that creates a pinched, narrow existence for no good reason.
Right. Even if your reason, quote unquote, is valid.
Yeah, it ain't good.
Even if you were to tell somebody what happened, and they'd be like, yeah, ain't nobody got time for that, right? Even if that's the truth of what you're saying.
Yeah.
The reality is the reasoning behind it is keeping you in a narrow existence. You could be absolutely right, or do you want to be free?
There you go. There you go. But there is something we can do about it. The word receive means to accept. In order to demonstrate prosperity, we must accept it mentally first.
Right. Meaning get rid of all the things that would prevent you from accepting it.
You hear this, you're like, but no, yeah, I accept prosperity. No. Right? Mentally accept it first, which means removing, clearing all of those things. This is the reason, and the only reason to do any work around trauma and healing our trauma, right? Because by doing that, that is then allowing us to mentally accept prosperity first. Psychologists tell us this: we can have anything we can mentally accept, but we must mentally accept it first. A great part of the act of receiving is accepting the good we want mentally rather than mentally resisting it. And this is where neuroscience comes in. I've mentioned this book, I think, in the past, Mind Magic by James Doty. What I love about it is it breaks down the neuroscience behind the process of manifestation. And one of the things that we understand about the subconscious mind is it accepts what it knows, what it likes, and what it trusts. And so, for many of us, our subconscious mind has been trained around drama and foolishness, and it doesn't work out. And that's what the subconscious mind knows, likes, and trusts. And so it filters everything else out. It's not that it's not there, it just filters it out. And so your experience is this is a fact of life, but it's not. And so what we do through the many different tools and practices that we have is to work with our subconscious mind, to train it to know, like, and trust. Things are always working out for me. To know, like, and trust. Nothing is ever lost in spirit. To know, like, and trust, I am prosperous. To know, like, and trust that my good comes to me quickly and easily and in peace.
And in peace.
Right?
So we're not just saying these words.
Right.
We're teaching ourselves and our subconscious mind how that they are true. And so anytime you have one of these, whatever it is, phrases, ideas, affirmations, you're not just saying it or writing it. You're teaching your subconscious mind how to trust it, why to trust it, because then you begin to see it show up in your life, and then you register that. All right, I can trust that this is true.
Yep. Yep.
That's why gratitude is so great.
Absolutely.
Because you get to write down the things that you now know are true. You get to teach yourself what to trust.
Yeah. And even if you don't know it, what you want to be true. Because I love you just use the word teach, right? That's what you're doing. You're teaching, you're training your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind will accept it. The subconscious mind accepts whatever you provide it.
On a consistent basis.
On a consistent basis, right? And so, again, that becomes the know, like, and trust.
Right. And we know that, 0 to 7, we were our subconscious mind was basically just receiving. Just receiving. In the beautiful way that it was designed to do. Yeah. And some of the things it received were not beneficial. Some of the things it received were unwanted. And so now, as the adults that we are, we get to support our subconscious mind in kind of reworking itself, in taking that beautiful receptive nature of the subconscious mind and using it consciously for our benefit.
Yep. Many people fight their good, thinking they cannot have it or that they should not be asking for it, thereby slowing down its manifestation or stopping it altogether. This takes us right back to chapter 1, right? And I love this, right? Because remember how she was talking about people asked her to teach a prosperity class, and then as she got into class, they started to realize that they don't even believe that being prosperous is good, that they believe that wealthy people are bad and all of that kind of stuff.
Right, and that many of you may have become aware of those beliefs yourself during this 3-month process.
You may have already gotten free of such ridiculous attitudes through your study of the prosperous truth. Such limited attitudes are not part of a child of God, and we are all children of the Most High. As the child of a king, you have no right to limit yourself with such false ideas. That's a powerful, you have no right to limit yourself. This is why I love the story of the Lion King. And I think in the sermon, Take Back Your Throne, I talked about, Simba out there with Timon and Pumbaa singing Hakuna Matata. Right? You have no right to limit yourself with such false ideas. Right? That's not who he was. And that's what's so beautiful about the story. He had to come back, and he left, out of fear. He ran out being not who he was, right? So that preaches by itself, right? Fear is what leads us to act like we ain't got no sense. PY preached that message, act like you got some sense, right? So we recognize that fear can redirect us in the wrong direction, right? Fear, doubt, and worry, disappointment, all of those things, right? Things don't turn out the way we want. And then it has us living our lives in the same way that Simba was in The Lion King. Singing Hakuna Matata with Timon and Pumbaa. Meanwhile, you're the heir to the throne of the... right? What?
Right.
You have no right to limit yourself with such false ideas.
And the song felt good, right? It felt true. It felt right. I got my friends. We all singing it and vibing to it together.
No worries.
Right? But in reality, you're setting yourself up for a pinched existence.
Yep. There you go. Pinched and narrow. Lord have mercy. As you begin to follow through on the prosperity method suggested in this book, open your mind and your life to receive the unlimited supply that is your divine heritage. Do so by deliberately speaking the word of receiving. Declare, it is the Father's good pleasure to give me the kingdom of unlimited supply, and it is my good pleasure to receive it. I am receiving now. I am receiving all the wealth God has for me, and God has unlimited wealth for me. And
again, you're picking affirmations because they may not appear to be true to you right now. You're planting the seeds in your subconscious mind so that they can become true for you. It doesn't mean that it isn't already true. It just means that you're not open to receiving it yet, right? There's no judgment in that. We just take the necessary steps to make sure that we become open.
Yeah. Yep. Because it's the only way. Sometimes we see this play out in romantic relationships, right? Where one has a sense of, oh, I've been picking the wrong people, so I'm going to now pick someone that's the opposite, right? But they have not opened their mind to receive.
They haven't healed what was actually causing them to pick the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't forgiven themselves for picking the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, well, that didn't work, so I'm going to do this.
Right. And so when they're treated well, they can't accept it.
They can't accept it.
When they're affirmed, they don't believe it. Right? You know what I'm saying? That's a prime example of what's happening. And so that's why this step is necessary. Understand that there are laws. Open your mind to prosperity, and then open your mind to receive.
Mm-hmm. And I love the way she lays it out because it's logical.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that we can do. Yep. She's not putting it in such highbrow terminology that you can't access it, mm-hmm. that it can't become practical. Mm-hmm. And even that example in relationship, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe I did attract because I didn't understand the law, because I had traumatic experiences, and on the list goes. Yeah. But now I know that law works and actually has been working. Now I forgive myself. I eliminate anything that would block me from being open. And then I get to allow myself to receive it. It's step by step. It's logical. It's practical. And it's applicable to anything.
Anything. Prosperous thinking may bring changes. Prosperous thinking often demands changes in you and around you, changes that you are ready for and need, but tend to resist unless you know what is happening. Mm-hmm. You may seem helpless to stop these changes when they begin. Most of us have wandered away from the prosperous truth. The ideas in this book can help us get back on the right track, but we must take what goes with the use of these prosperity principles, even if it means changes involving people, places, or things.
And I get why change feels so scary, because many of the first changes that caused us trauma, they were a change. They felt different than what we felt like on the inside. We didn't feel safe based on that change. But we got to understand and think of change differently. There's always evolution. There's always a upward spiral and an evolution towards the highest good for yourself. At the core of you has not changed.
No.
We're just catching up with the core.
Right.
We're just catching up with it. And so think of change, if it happens and when it happens, as just change.
Yeah.
Don't make it more or less.
And what you're doing is, I'm staying with the Lion King theme. Shout out to Beyonce, the King, the Gift album. Find your way back, right? You're finding your way back. And that's why she wrote the song, right? Because that's what it was. It was like Simba strayed. But from the vantage point of his father, right, Mufasa, you'll stray. Things will happen. You'll make choices and mistakes. You'll forget who you are. But you will find your way back, right? Because that thing that's within you, it always brings you back.
Right.
And so in our lives, that's what those changes are. Right? And sometimes they can feel very drastic, right? If you were, imagine you were supposed to be driving from New York to Miami, right? North to south, I-95, just 95 south all the way down. But for some reason you had been driving west for hours, right? And you're somewhere in Iowa, right? So you're going to have to travel a different route to get back to where you want to go, right? And so even that can feel, strange and disconcerting, not to mention you might be judging yourself, like, why did I do that?
Right. I thought I was reading the map. Yeah. What happened? Right.
All of that stuff. And so it's, I think the wisdom of this that's beautiful that Catherine Ponder is sharing with us is to understand the path of course correction, right? And sometimes that's what's happening if we have not fully embraced all that is possible for us, if we have not been living according to our birthright. Again, going back to the story, this is what's symbolized in the story, right? We don't have to fight for our good. We know what you fight to get. You have to fight to keep. But from the point of symbol in the story, this is then why Simba must face Scar, right? Like you have to face that which you ran away from. You have to face that which seems to be your biggest obstacle, right? But but that's not literally required in life.
Not at
It's
all.
symbolically required, right? And we get to watch that play out so that we understand the hero's journey. We understand what the return is all about.
And that's it. We sometimes get caught up in the fight to return, and we never acknowledge and celebrate the return.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? We never acknowledge, oh, I am different than I was the last time I quote unquote was here. Right? I've come back around and I see it differently. And so that spiral upward is different. Maybe not as long. Maybe I'm not down as long. Maybe I don't, land my plane and put it in the hangar like I used to do.
Right.
Right? Oh, I see. And so I lovingly get back on course with my plane in the air.
Yeah. Ideally.
Yes. Ideally. Sometimes you pull it into the hangar, you take the wheels off, the engine out. That's okay.
Yeah.
There's still a plane.
Right. Yep. And all of the laws that allow that thing to fly still apply. Right?
Still apply and still operate. That's what we forget sometimes when we get caught up in, I did it wrong. It hasn't worked out yet. We're trying to make it make sense based on human experience as opposed to divine law.
Yep.
And divine law never judges.
It's not its nature.
It just operates.
Yeah. Right. As you open your mind to prosperity, if a rearrangement comes, you can know it is for good.
Yes.
Right? So you can affirm that. You will find your life becoming happier, your prosperity and peace of mind greater. So relax, let go, and let prosperous thinking do its perfect work in your life. Dare to open your mind to receive. So, of course, we encourage you, if you do not already have it in your library, to go out and get and consider getting the next book, Open Your Mind to Receive, right? For many of you, and I know so many have come back to the different lessons, you might, even for the rest of the year, right? You might want to continue to come back to these lessons because it's that deep, it's that rich, it's that beneficial. But as you feel led, it is important to go to the next part of this trilogy, because Open Your Mind to Receive reinforces things from the first two books, but it also really expands your understanding of what it means to be receptive. And where you may have thought you were being receptive, it's possible that you were operating in fear. It's possible that you were operating in manipulation and control. It's possible that you were operating in covert doubt, right? All of these different things.
Absolutely.
And so that's important to note.
It is. And so take your time with it. We're such a microwave spirituality, as PG says. We're just in such a rush to consume things that we don't realize that drive, that rush is based on fear that we don't understand, don't get it, won't receive it.
Right.
What she's telling you is it's already yours.
Yep.
And as I like to say, it's coming to you.
Yeah.
And so take your time understanding these texts.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're remedial. It means you're integrating. Right? And of course, we move on because that's what we do here at CSC. We bring you more things to consider. But that doesn't mean what we've already worked on, read through together, exercises you've done, ways you've operated, don't still apply.
Yeah. I was sharing a quote with PY a couple weeks ago. Emmett Fox, he says people would come to him all the time and like, oh, what should I read? Or I want to get deeper truth, And he said, go back and read what you've already read with more intention, right? And take your time and practice it even more. There isn't a new book that needs to be read or that needs to be studied, right? Y'all have heard me say it many times. You could take any one of the 5011 series that we have taught at CSC over these 12 years, take it and transform your life. Pema Chodron says, pick a path, any path, and go deeper. Right.
And resist that urge within you that says, I got to go on to the next. when you haven't integrated this yet.
Right.
As he said, your nervous system, your body, your subconscious has to trust. It's trusted some things. I don't know how long you've been on the planet. It's trusted a way of being for so long that you gotta take your time in the human experience and teach it how to trust something else.
You know, one of the other things that we have all fallen into the days of is consumer spirituality, right? Spirituality has been co-opted by capitalism, just like everything else.
Yep.
And, you know, on one level, it's wonderful. I mean, there's you know, lots of money to be made, and, you know, all of that kind of stuff is cool. But we consume the next book and the next book, and we consume the next teaching and the next teaching, right? Just like McDonald's. Right?
But if you operate that at your core, you are whole, perfect and complete, and this path is purely remembering that, then you're not in such a rush to find something new if the truth of you is still true.
Yep. So again, we absolutely encourage you, open your mind to receive. It's the next logical step. Definitely grab the book. We want to take a moment to celebrate and highlight some of the shares that we received. Also, I want to let you know where we're going and what's happening next as we move into September and start to think about closing out the year. But first, let's celebrate some of the wonderful shares. And so we received messages from different people, and I'm pulling these out. And this first one, I was able to obtain $2,100 in credit when I thought I might be turned down. It was needed to take care of a major home repair, so I felt truly amazing. This person also said, I've become more aware of who I am and who I am not, right? Which is powerful. So you need to, even the recognition of that, that, oh, I was believing some things about myself that's not true. That's one half of it. But then I need to believe who I am.
Yes.
Powerful, very powerful. Oh, wonderful. More money. My income has increased along with bonuses on my job. I also have experienced radiant health. It felt satisfying. I didn't have to do overtime or work harder. That's prosperity.
That is sincerely prosperity.
Yes. This is wonderful. I feel greater contentment and appreciation for my life because of the strategies I've learned through Catherine Ponder's writing, PG and PY's guidance, Sunday service, and group support. Contentment is a prosperous outcome. It is out of contentment. I love to say that a peaceful mind is the starting point of prosperity. And so once you've found contentment, now you've opened your mind to receive. Another one, I am more aware of the prosperity I have. I know that all the experiences of my life have been for my good. This knowledge and understanding gives me the space to welcome continuous sublime prosperity.
Sublime prosperity.
I received a high-paying full-time job in my field, a raise and bonus less than a year at the current job, a new apartment, and peace from my past relationships and situationships. Lord have mercy.
Situationships, okay.
Peace. And money and prosperity, more and more increase. Also love this. It's like the rules don't apply. A raise and a bonus less than a year at this current new job, right?
Right. The human man-made rules don't apply. If you operate under divine law, it always applies.
Yes. Before I took this class, I was very anxious, worried, and scared. After the class, my anxiety, worries went away, and I have a newfound confidence within myself.
That's so beautiful.
Ooh,
so
Lord
beautiful.
have mercy. Lord have mercy. Yes. Oh, this is great. My relationships have transformed. My wife, who wasn't a student of truth before, now actively engages, joining masterclasses and even watching CSC services on her own. With my father, I now experience the best relationship we've ever had. They go on. Through the forgiveness session, I was able to release resentment and step into a peace and unconditional love I didn't know was possible. Financially, this is all the same person. Prosperity continues to flow.
You better receive.
Unexpected groceries showed up. My business expanded, a new career path opened, and resources covered 3 trips. I also began giving consistently again, something I had stopped years ago.
Oh, this is so powerful. I love seeing this, and I love seeing the cause and effect that this person now understands on a deeper level. They might have understood it before, but they've experienced it deeper now.
Yes. So powerful. The peace in my relationships and the flow of financial prosperity make me feel unstoppable and fully equipped to create a life aligned with my highest self.
Love it.
Absolutely. My life has prospered with a change in consciousness and a closer relationship with spirit.
Yes.
I've received unexpected gifts of money and unexpected scholarship for a TM class.
Love it. And that's going to give you more benefit, right? Because now it's not just I get a one-time something. I get to now practice TM every day to receive the benefit of that.
Yes.
So I will continue to prosper.
Yes.
Divine love prospers me now and into the future. Love it.
Absolutely. And they go on. I have a closer relationship with my son, released toxic relationships, and cleared clutter in my environment and mind. I am also healing my body by being led to the right doctors and treatments. It's been a wonderful journey.
I love this. I always say that what I need for my health and my healing comes to me. I'll be led to the right people, the right environments.
Yes. Each manifestation felt exciting and amazing. It felt like I was proving to myself that spirit is working for me. I began expecting good to happen to me, and it has.
Yes.
Amen, Ashe, and so it is. Oh, this is wonderful. The shift happened during the week on loss, air quotes. For too long, I regretted missed opportunities, missed connections, and felt consumed with grief. Recognizing that there is no loss in spirit awakened a reconciliation within me. Clearing out old mental debris, old emotional baggage helped me see myself, my relationships, and my experiences in a new light. It was like a psycho-spiritual liposuction.
Oh, no.
That mess just went away.
I love it.
Yes.
That's awesome.
We know, and as we affirmed over the past 2 weeks, that chapter was powerful. We heard from so many of you, again, folks that we talked to directly. We received emails, the comments in the live masterclass, comments and the replay. That realization about divine restoration, it really is everything.
It is.
And as we talked about, but you couldn't get there. We had to go through all the other places.
Right. It's kind of like you couldn't receive it. You couldn't receive that that's the truth without moving through the other chapters first. And so I love Catherine Fonder, how she structured the book. I was led to structure it because it's really beneficial.
Yes.
Oh, so much goodness.
Yes, so much goodness. So as always, we love and appreciate each and every one of you, and we are so happy to celebrate your prosperity. We know that this has nothing to do with us. We are willing channels and vessels. We teach and love to teach prosperity because we know it works, right? We've applied these principles over and over in our lives, and they have expanded our lives. They continue to expand our lives. We continue to prosper in new, profound, expanding ways as we dare to prosper, as we dare to open our minds to receive, because there's no limit to it. There's no end, right? We're individually expanding the receptacle that we are to be a wider and greater channel of the good that is always seeking to express through open, receptive, willing channels.
Right. I talked about that in the prosperity circle, the sea of prosperity. What are you bringing to the sea of prosperity? Are you bringing a little thimble? Are you bringing a cup with a crack in it? Are you bringing a hose? What are you bringing? It's around that mental receptive nature, symbolized by a cup or a thimble. But what are you bringing to this vastness that is prosperity?
Absolutely.
And you can train your mind to use a bigger vessel.
Yep. To become that. Yes. Absolutely. And so, of course, the masterclass is here. It's available. You can come back and watch it at any time. We trust that you will. We trust that you will get the next book and read that. And of course, as we won't have service next week, it's a wonderful time to come back to these teachings. But we, of course, then in September, will be moving forward. And I'm excited about where we're moving forward. This is something that I've been wanting to teach since I really thought I would have taught this in our first year at CSC. It's been there hanging out. There's a wonderful book, The 12 Conditions of a Miracle by Todd Michael. And so we're going to teach that. And the reason that we're teaching it this year is because we're in our 12th year. And so tapping into that vibration of 12. For my numerology folks, we know that 12 reduces to the number 3. 3 is a powerful number for so many reasons, right? A table needs at least 3 legs to stand, a stool, a chair, right? And so there's stability in 3. So we're going to go through. This will take us actually up to the Thanksgiving break, right? For the 12 weeks, the 12 conditions of a miracle. The series is called Miracle Minded, and it's a perfect next step to what we've been talking about, because you're going to find some of the same principles we're going to be talking about again, because it's important that we embody them. I want to say this at the outset, and I will definitely say this in the sermon and the series many times. So you'll hear something like the 12 conditions of a miracle, and that could cause overwhelm. Like, oh my God, there's 12 things I have to do and 12 things that I have to remember in order to have miracles in my life. Todd Michael writes about it in the book this way. He says that it's like 12 plates. Once you get them spinning, some of the plates are just going to spin on their own because you have a practice habit around it, right? Others, you'll realize I need to pay attention to this plate, right? Because I know when I don't pay attention, certain things happen. And recently I've heard a metaphor that I like a little better, kind of like dimmer switches, right? And so sometimes at certain points in your life, whatever season you may be in, you're going to, push up one dimmer switch a little more, put the focus on it. You're not turning off the other dimmers. They're just not as forward as the others. But the point is to keep all of these dimmer switches active. Right? And so we're going to talk about what those 12 things are, those 12 conditions, using it, breaking down a very familiar story of the fishes and loaves, but breaking down the translation. So this also kind of dovetails as a Reimagine the Bible series, because we go to the original language, recognizing that that story was a code. Right? We know, we've heard in the mouth of Jesus that greater things than these will you do also, right? Greater things than Jesus did. But what does that mean, right? We recognize that when he gave the Lord's Prayer, he said, pray like this. He didn't say pray these words, right? And I don't know why Christianity just didn't hear that, right? I mean, it's a wonderful prayer. The Lord's Prayer is nice, but it was pray like this. It was a code. It was a formula.
Right. It was almost like teaching you how the 5 parts of affirmative prayer.
Exactly.
Pray like this.
And so that story is the same thing. It's a formula, and the 12 conditions are in that story. And so we're going to work to break that down, to understand each of the 12 and understand how we operate in each of the 12 so that we can prosper. So in this moment, it is time for giving. You see the information on your screen. You've seen it. It's been up for a while. It's very easy to give to CSC. You can go to our website, celebrationsc.org/give, or you can text your dollar amount to 347-744-9500. There is a $10 minimum to use that service. Additionally, the Church Center app is available, and so you can download the Church Center app using this QR code or going to the website that we shared earlier, and you can give in the Church Center app. The Church Center app is wonderful. You can use Apple Pay if you like to do that, but also you can give all of the other normal ways, no matter which format you choose to give, right? No matter which mode you choose, we offer all of those. They're safe and secure. That's wonderful. It is important, and of the utmost importance, the consciousness behind your giving. Not just, I'm hearing in this moment, sometimes when we give people gifts, there's that phrase, it's the thought that counts. I'm not just talking about that, right? Like, oh, it's the thought that counts. Like, I'm doing something nice. I'm giving. I thought to give to CSC. We already learned in this masterclass that it ain't about that, right? That we understand why we give, and we understand how that is a part of opening our mind to prosperity and operating in the flow of prosperity. So we must give. We must think God first. We must recognize and demonstrate through our giving that we understand that there is an unlimited universal supply that supplies us, and we want to keep that flow flowing. So that's why we give.
We started it for this 12-week period, 13 weeks at this point.
Yeah.
So the flow is open.
Yep.
Why would you stop the flow?
There's no reason to. There's no reason to. And so give from that place, recognizing that your one or many streams of income is a resource. It's not the source. And so by giving freely, you're acknowledging that reality. And you're acknowledging that just as you would never hold your breath, because I don't know when my next breath is coming, right? Yeah, you hear about the breath market out here? It's terrible. I'm going to hold my breath. See? Just as you would never do that, this is why we do not withhold in our giving. We freely give, knowing that as I breathe out, there's more than enough for me to breathe in. And I'm not going to be able to receive unless I give. Right? If I don't give that breath, I'm not going to be able to receive my next breath. That's how it works. And when we give from that consciousness, when we give from that awareness, then we can affirm this with confidence and with joy. All the money that I circulate.
All the money that I circulate.
Returns to me multiplied.
Returns to me multiplied.
In a never-ending cycle.
In a never-ending cycle.
Of increase.
And enjoyment. And enjoyment.
To that we say amen.
Amen.
Ashe.
Ashe.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is. Well, again, we love and appreciate you all. We are so happy to celebrate your prosperity. And we know that there is more to come and more to come. It will only get better and better and better and better than that. Of course, we are excited about all of us taking the weekend off. And so we trust that you will enjoy this last, like I always say, unofficial weekend of summer. Summer doesn't officially end until next month, but enjoy it. Enjoy this week, yes. Whatever plans you have next weekend, family, friends, etc. Have a good time. Be intentional about your joy, right? Don't reschedule your joy.
Don't reschedule your joy.
Be intentional.
Let it in.
Yeah.
Allow your joy.
Yeah. And so we look forward to coming back together first Sunday in September. We will all be refreshed. We will all be ready. We will all be locked in as we tap into being miracle-minded and practicing the 12 conditions of a miracle. We love you. We appreciate you. Bye for now.
Bye for now.